Have you been told you need to stop doing what you love, whether it's exercise, running, or a sport? Well, here at Dynamic, we don't like that answer. In this podcast, we'll talk to leaders in the health and wellness space from Southwest Florida to get the solutions you need to get you back to doing what you love. Welcome to the Dynamic Naples Podcast. So today I'm bringing on John Williams for a very specific reason. He's a personal trainer here in Naples, although he's going to be leaving us shortly. So I'm not bringing him on to talk training necessarily, but he's got kind of a cool revolutionary idea that I think can change fitness industry in general. So, but before we get into that, John, just tell them a little bit of your backstory, where you're from, how you got into training, and let's go right into why you're leaving training.
Yeah, so I started as a trainer when I was like 17. Actually, I started as a coach. I coached hockey. I was a goalie coach when I was 16.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I was a goalie for my whole time growing up. Then when I was like 16, like this I don't know how it happened. I think it was like one of my mom's friends was like, hey, like, do you want to like coach our son? Like, just come to the practices, and it was super fun. And I knew I'd really like to do that. I like to teach people how to do things. So, like, the next year I moved schools and I started going to this gym. And this guy had like this scientific approach to training. It wasn't that scientific, but it seemed way more specific than anything I had seen before. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like sports performance. I was like, this is awesome. And he was like really into it. He was into like the science, even though he wasn't all that good at it. I'm only crapping on him because he did a really bad thing to me. And now I have to just light him up whenever I get the opportunity.
Do we want to know? Or
No, I mean, he really just kind of, I was going to work there one summer.
Uh-huh.
And he was not the world's best businessman and didn't have a lot of funds available.
Is this up in Falmouth?
Yeah.
Right.
So he made a promise to me that I was going to have this job. He's like, yeah, I'm going to pay you $15 an hour. Mm-hmm. Then 2 weeks into the summer, I'm like, dude, I've been here for 2 weeks.
Oh, no.
Like, when am I going to get this
Did
job?
you dirty.
What's that?
It did you dirty.
Yep. And he was like, you know what? I'm not sure I'll be able to, like, give me another couple weeks. I'm like, no, it's not good enough. I need a job. So I got another job. I was like, I told him, I was, hey, man, I'm working at this other place. Like, no worries. And so he comes back to me. I'm like, I go to work out in the gym that day. And I had interned. So this is my first experience training was at that gym. And this is where I was getting to. I interned for him for a whole summer before I went to college. Mm-hmm. And he was the whole experience like working out at that gym and training there was what got me into exercise science. So Gotcha. That's when I decided I was going to go to exercise science. I went to FGCU. But the summer before I went to FGCU for my freshman year, I interned at his facility, mm-hmm. Which was a great experience. And I was like, yeah, this is great. I love doing this. I was pretty good at it. And the next summer, that's when I came back. And so, like I said, he kept pushing the job back. And I told him, like, 2 weeks into the summer, I was like, look, man, I got another job doing a different thing. I was a trash guy. But I needed something. And so I was like, I can't work here. I'm committed to this now.
Trash guy? Like a garbage man?
I was a garbage man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I got paid pretty well. It's like $17.50 an hour.
I imagine it pays decent. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, there's better things to do. But, yeah, so he comes up to me. I'm like, going to start my workout. And now, granted, I had just trained people at his gym for an entire summer for free. Uh-huh. And so I'm just thinking I can still work out here. Like, this is like my home. Like, this guy, he was like my mentor. Like, he was like a father figure, kind of.
Which gym was this?
It was called Falmouth Area Sports Training, FAST.
Okay. It's not the one, I'm thinking of the Falmouth Sports Center, but it's not, okay. Those are different things. Gotcha.
No, this was after your time.
Yeah, that's where I did all my rehab was the Falmouth Sports Center. I love that place.
Gotcha. So he comes up to me 2 weeks, or, I was going to do my workout. It was like 2 weeks in the summer. He's like, hey, man, I'm going to have to have you pay to train here. And he's like, and I'm like, what? So
he owes you money, and now he wants to charge you at the gym you're working at.
And not only that, he back charged me for the past 2 weeks.
Oh my God!
The 2 weeks before, he's like, yeah, I need you to pay for like the 2 weeks, and then you got another 2 weeks. That would be like a month. So that's you're gonna have to pay me $150.
All right.
And so I take $150 out of my wallet, and I'm like, here, you can have it. I'm not training here. I just walk out.
Good for you. Jeez, that's terrible. Okay, so how did that lead you wanting to do your own thing, just the exposure to training people?
Yeah, so once I started training people, like the first 2 years of college were tough because you don't really learn all that much. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like you redo high school. Yeah, and you kind of forget what you like. And then we got to junior year, we started learning more exercise science stuff, and I was fascinated by it. It was very interesting to me. I just didn't like school that much. Our senior year, we did internships.
Mm-hmm.
So I did one in Naples and I did one in Nashville. And that's where I was like, yeah, man, I'm in. I love this. This is great.
Nashville or Asheville?
Nashville.
Nashville, okay.
And then, yeah, after college, I got a job as a personal trainer up in Vermont. Worked there for 6 months, and you can read my blog if you want to know the whole story as to like why I left and everything. But I realized, after 6 months, I sort of understood their systems. They had a very detailed approach to training, which I really liked. I was like fascinated by it. They were very movement focused, and that's the thing I think. I still think to this day is the most important, movement quality over everything.
Yeah, I'd agree.
If you have great movement quality, you stay young for a significantly longer period of time. Actually, just somebody, I put a tweet out that just like was like, hey, I've had 7 years in this industry. Like, ask me any fitness question you have. One guy was like, how do I, prevent my joints from getting older? And I was just like, move well. Like, figure what that means and do it.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, that was their approach to training. And I was like, you know what? After like 6 months, I kind of figured it out. I understood their sales process. I understood their program philosophy. I understood their training philosophy. I was like, they're not really teaching me anything more. I'm getting paid crap. I was getting paid like $40 a year. And I was like, I'm done. Now I'll just go start my own thing. So for the past year and a half, I've just been training on my own.
All right, so I know that you've sort of transitioned. Are you fully out of training now, or do you still have some clientele?
So my last client should be training with me on the 31st. I guess the 30th is a Friday, so that's my last full day training. And yeah, I'll be moving on to Fitteo full time after that.
Cool, yeah, so let's go right into Fitteo because I think this is a really cool idea. So why don't you explain what it is? I know it's a software and there's going to be an app behind it as well.
Yeah, I want to talk about the problem first.
Okay.
And this goes back to my days building Tiny Whipple workouts. So I built an Instagram account. It's called Tiny Whipple Workouts. And I would write workouts on smaller than normal sized whiteboards. Some would call them tiny. So I called the account Tiny Whipple Workouts.
Yep, makes sense.
But it was kind of weird because I just wrote a couple workouts like on whiteboards at this gym I was working at. And then I was like, I'm just going to put out a whole program on my Instagram. Maybe that'll do well. Because I knew this other company did it, Pen and Paper Strength. I was like, hey, this is kind of like a cool little idea. Maybe I'll call it something. So I called it Tiny Whipple Workouts. And then I took that for like the next year and some change.
That's when I met you, I think.
Yeah, I grew the account, to around like 3,500 followers or so. It got pretty big. It had a decent amount of traction. But the biggest thing I wanted to do, I wanted to monetize it. I wasn't looking to just like make this Instagram account and like put these programs out for free. I was like, maybe I can sell them. So I tried to sell them on my website. And again, I had like 3,500 followers. I had people hitting me up every single day, asking questions, all these sort of things. I figured, okay, if I just build a website, put these programs on there, like people are going to go buy them. But they didn't.
It's not that easy usually.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
The conversion rates were super low.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is like really kind of annoying. Why is this? Well, what I realized, because I realized, well, I'm not buying anything from anybody else either. And when I would go to other trainers' pages and like look for what their point of sale was, what are they selling, things get really confusing. The waters get murky, and it's not any fault of their own. They don't know how to build websites. They're trainers. This is a hard skill to learn. Building a really good sales funnel is tough.
Yep.
And especially trying to do it on Instagram and then creating some link tree or some link in bio that sends you to a whole bunch of other links. And then the user has to choose which link that they're supposed to go to. And hopefully you worded it well to make sure they're directed to the right place. And then you go to their website, and then you got to figure out it's an absolute mess.
I already know this pain. I still deal with it.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody deals with it from a user side, and people deal with it from an actual generator of content side. And the other problem too is look around any gym right now and look at how many people are actually using apps to work out. Almost nobody.
Yeah.
And the reason is because all the apps suck. They really do. They're not easy to use. And at the same time, they're not very compelling. Like their favorite creators aren't on there creating content. It's just this app decided to like build a program app and then put programs on it. So there's really no inspiration there. Like if you look at TikTok, Instagram, like these places are super high engagement because you have this amazing creator economy behind it. So it's like, okay, there's no like creator economy for fitness. There's no place where people are just openly creating programs and putting them out there for people to see. Nobody's consuming content like that. And at the same time, trainers are having this really hard problem with, actually getting a really good point of sales funnel to work through Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what if you created some social platform that had e-commerce built in. So a place where people can go, build training programs, build content, build an audience, build a community, and then sell that community the programs you have. And then you have a place where people can go consume training content and then buy training programs. There's two sides to that coin. So that's what Fitteo is. It's a live stream content creation fitness platform. Obviously, we know live stream content. Just think of Beachbody, the stuff you have on your TV. But now anybody can create that. Think of Peloton, the little bike with the live stream, cycle workouts. But now anybody can create those, and then you can consume whatever you want. And then a marketplace for training programs that anybody can go on and build those programs. So that's going to be the whole thing. But not June, sorry. I'm getting my months all mixed up. Time goes by too fast. We're all getting old. We're just closer to dying every single day. September 1st. September 1st, we will be launching the first version of the app in the Apple App Store. So, sorry, Chris.
You and your Apple.
But we might be able to get it on Android like a week later. We'll see what happens.
Android's so much easier to get on, by the way.
Anyway. So we'll be releasing the first version September 1st. That version is going to be mobile only. You'll be able to build training programs on the app, and you'll be able to sell them in the marketplace, and then anybody's going to be able to go to the marketplace, buy training programs, and do them right on your phone. Yeah,
so this is all like super interesting and enticing as a business owner, because obviously I'd like to jump on that train too, like selling content. But on the other end, of the consumer end, like I can't already see the back end, so I already know, but what is the draw for the average person?
Yeah, the draw for the average person is go on Amazon right now. There's unlimited choices for what you want. And that's because what Amazon did is they didn't focus on curating content. They didn't focus on curating their marketplace. They let the users curate what's going to be on the marketplace and how it's going to be bought and sold. So when you go on Fitteo's marketplace, there's going to be so much variety once I get a whole bunch of trainers on here building training programs, because we're not the ones creating the content. You'll be able to find any training program your heart desires, because there's going to be so many people on there creating so many different things for so many different use cases. There's going to be so many different content categories that we never even thought of that show up. Since we just have so many people creating, there's just going to be so much to buy.
You're just crowdsourcing fitness, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a great way to put it. And like I said, every other app is just limited in their content. So you might have to download an app, pay $10 a month. Oh, it's also going to be free, by the way. All you have to do is buy the training programs.
Free for the consumer, not for the business owner, right?
So yeah, for the business owner, it's just going to be $10 a month just to sell.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, well, think about the other options. Yeah. Think of True Coach, think of Train Heroic, think of Team Builder. All of these apps, the starting price is $50 a month. And I'll tell you why that is. Hopefully nobody from those companies listens to this podcast. What they did a very silly thing. They did a very silly thing, and then they all copied each other. What they did is they made two different profiles. They made a coach profile, and they made a trainer profile. And then what they did is the coach has to store the data for all of the users, all of their athletes. Okay, so now you have to take on not only the data for yourself, but the data for everybody else who you have under your little cohort. That means you, as one individual user, is really expensive. So for your server costs are relatively pretty expensive.
I see.
Versus if I just took you and separated you from each athlete. Okay, each athlete has a small cost, and then you have a small cost. Okay, I can charge them a small.
That makes much more sense.
I can charge a small value for each of them versus this giant sum for just one person who has to then take care of 20 people. On Fitteo, everybody is a consumer and a creator. You open up Fitteo, and just like on YouTube, where you can go and create a YouTube video without any extra, you have to set up a different account. Same thing is going to be true on Fitteo, except some of those extra premium features you'll just have to pay $10 a month for. Like to sell something in the marketplace, you just have to pay $10 a month, and we just want to sort of, some of that, yeah, sure, we want to make money, but we don't really care about the $10 a month. We just want to separate the people who are real serious about creating and the people who are just going to like put completely random nonsense workouts in the marketplace and try to make money from them.
That's great. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it keeps the cost down. That's fantastic. So one of the things I like about the app that I saw was some of the metrics too that you can track. So let's go ahead and talk about metrics and wearable technology and what's going to sync and how you're going to build out that whole side of things.
Yeah, so when it comes to creating programs, creating exercises, and tracking metrics on an athlete dashboard, it's really way less complicated than people make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
People, like if you go on like True Coach or Trainerize or all these other ones, they kind of pigeonhole you into the metrics that you're allowed to track. They're like, okay, you can track calories and you can track fat and grams, you can track this, that, and the other thing. But they don't just give you like a table to input stuff.
Right.
And then when you input the table, it just creates a graph of anything that you would want. You know, like if I were to open up an Excel spreadsheet right now, I can create a graph of anything that I want. But like an Excel spreadsheet, it's a little bit harder to build,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of clunky and ugly.
Yep.
Where like we can make it look good on a design perspective, but just give you a table to input any metric you want and then track it. Right? Most metrics are just some value, some unit, and then the value over time.
That's amazing because there's things that I want to track with my clientele and my patients, things like sleep quality and quantity. These things I always ask about, and a lot of these apps are missing this kind of data.
Yeah, and all you have to do is put that on a graph and set your limit to 10. Set your
Like a 0 to 10 scale.
Yeah, it's a 0 to 10 scale. Okay,
Yep.
now I'm just seeing. Okay, he was at a 9 today, 9 today, 9 today. Now, okay, he was at a 5, now 4. That's all it is.
That's awesome.
You can literally just do whatever you want.
Cool. Any other features we haven't talked about with the app?
Yeah, well, so let's talk about like the user side. So the trainer side, like I can build programs, I can sell them in the marketplace, I can access my athletes' dashboards, but of course everybody has the same profile. So if an athlete has a dashboard, that means that athlete can also access their own dashboard. That means you as a trainer can access your own dashboard. You can build programs for yourself. You can track your own personal metrics. You can track your own little notes and whatever you have to do, your progress images. So every person who has a Fitteo profile, however you want to use it, you still get to be a user and a consumer as well as a creator.
So you don't have to log out and log into a different. That's awesome.
No,
Yeah,
and that's one of the big problems with these other apps.
Yeah.
Is first of all, you can't create programs on mobile, which I don't know why that's the case, because if you think about it, so many people build training programs on their iPads.
Yeah.
And that's iOS. So you have to create a mobile app in order to do that. But most of these apps, you can only create programs on desktop and then send them to people on their phone.
Right.
And then you can only view the programs on your phone. You can't view them on your desktop. It's like, dude, the functionality is not that hard to build. Yeah. I'm building it right now. This is not that complicated. What are you doing? So you'll be able to do everything on your phone, and then soon enough you'll be able to do everything on your computer as well.
That's great, John. I'm really looking forward to this. So you said it went September 1st. It's looking to come out on Apple?
Hopefully September 1st. It's going to be on iOS.
Yeah.
Considering a Google Play Store release probably a week or so afterwards, just depending on how everything goes in the building process. But that's the hopeful timeline. It might get extended a little bit further, hopefully not. That's what we think right now.
Great. And then how do people find out more? Like maybe mention your website and spell it out for them.
Yeah, so the best place to reach me with any updates on Fitteo is actually my Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So at JW Training. You can also follow it at Fitteo Live Twitter. I just don't post on there quite as much, but I'm going to start doing it more. And then if you want to just see really cool trainer content, go to at Fitteo Live on Instagram. FITTEO LIVE. Just reposting a whole bunch of cool trainers doing cool stuff. And I'll post some updates about Fitteo on there as well. But if you want to check out the website too, and put in your email there, I'm going to send out updates about the app to people's emails in our newsletter. That's fitteo.live, www.fitteo.live.
Spell Fitteo one more time.
FITTEO.
.live. Okay, gotcha.
.live.
All right. Awesome. Anything else you wanted to mention, or you feel like you kind of covered it?
I'm just, the more I think about it, I was really looking into all the other fitness apps that are out there. And there's just really no app that's on everybody's phone.
Yep.
Everybody has Instagram. Everybody has Facebook. And there's no fitness app that everybody has. And I think Fitteo is going to be the one that everybody does.
Once you add some physical therapy documentation, oh, man. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yep.
All right, John. Well, I wish the best to you. I know that app is absolutely going to crush it. And as I've mentioned to you before, when you're rich and you have your yacht living in Miami, make sure to reach out to me.
I know. I need to get you to move out there, man.
Yeah, well, wife and kids, kind of hard to move to Miami.
It is nice out there, though.
It is. Well, okay, let's wrap this one up. John, thank you for everything. Fitteo Live, Fitteo.live, check it out.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Do you have unexplained pain? Or do you wonder just how healthy you are? When was the last time you had your blood tested? Blood chemistry analysis is a great way to stay ahead of any health conditions, and now you can have control of your health with Let's Get Checked. Let's Get Checked is an incredible company that sends blood tests to your home. You can choose from over 30 different tests, whether that's liver function, testosterone, micronutrient, cholesterol, or C-reactive protein, which is a marker for inflammation. It's sent to you with free shipping, and you get results in 2 to 5 days, no physician referral needed. Use the code DPT20 for 20% off. Go to letsgetchecked.com and use the code DPT20. Did you know that you can get started with physical therapy without a physician's referral? Physical therapists don't just solve pain, we get down to the root cause and keep it from coming back. We also discuss all things health, such as nutrition and lifestyle changes. If you feel that you could use some help, let's get on a free consult call. Go to www.dynamicnaples.com and sign up for a free call. Also, if you like this podcast, please give us a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps us spread the message. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.